welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Sonic as the title of the video suggests. Now, excuse me. Sonic has been getting a bad rap for years, and I understand that this video won't reach the sort of audience it should to right the wrongs. More to the point, in the Sonic library, okay, sure, there's some dog shit in there, but how much of it is usually exaggerated by gamers? The worst part about a lot of this is those who spit their hate the hardest and loudest seem to have never played the first 3 Sonic games. And that's not to say that Sonic should rest on its laurels or that the buck stopped there, no, that'd be too dismissive. Or maybe they watched a Game Grumps video and now are experts on all the Sonic titles. While Sonic Adventures 1 and 2 are highly debatable as to whether they're any good or not, there are some others post-2000 which have been ignored when argued for Sonic. Okay, I know we had Sonic 2006, Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic Boom, but we also had the criminally underrated Sonic and the Secret Rings, Sonic Unleashed minus the Werehog levels, Sonic Colors, Sonic 4 more or less, and Sonic Generations are all excellent games which just got swept under the rug. It seems very fashionable to hate on Sonic, and I absolutely refuse to join the hate train. Especially when there's a group of players who spend more time hating on a game on social media than just cutting your losses and moving on with your lives. If anything, I'm more annoyed that we didn't get to see a proper Sonic game on the Saturn. They made up for it on the Dreamcast, but after seeing some gameplay video on the unfinished Sonic Extreme, it would have been great to play what could have been. After seeing the absolutely despicable JonTron video on 3 minutes of hating Sonic R, in which he couldn't be more wrong if he tried, I hope this is another side to the argument, or at the very least a slightly different angle. It's not going to be over the top hatred, it's not going to be a video where I get out the wine and roses and we make love multiple times, and yes, I have my own bias towards Sonic, but I've tried my hardest to bring every technical aspect under scrutiny. The presentation of the game is bright, tidy and professional looking. I really like the look of the layout from start to finish. There's not a single predominant colour or obvious overlying theme, but everything flows well. It really does look like Sega are trying to move with the future of gaming, well, you know, back then, by even having menu presentations be in 3D as the game itself, which is appreciated. It gives it a little something extra, a nice touch. There seems to be enough options to keep the player happy. In-game presentation is quite good, with the layout having placed each item in the right spot without extra noise on the screen. Graphics of the game are quite good. In fact, that's underselling the graphics of the game. The only real complaint I have is the pop-in and draw distance, which, we're given enough of it, but that's it. It doesn't have outstanding draw distance, it's just enough to stop us from complaining. The sense of speed is excellent, the colours are fine, the detailing is pretty good, and there wasn't much glitching. I mean, I came across 1 or 2 bits, but all in all, pretty damn good. When I say the sense of speed is excellent, I mean in a way that allows us to control Sonic. It could have been faster, sure, but with the way the game is, the sense of speed was just fine. The soundtrack is truly bizarre. People make fun of it in a very hyperbolic manner, but the reality is, it's something different and I appreciate the way they went out on a limb. I appreciate they tried something new, and more importantly, the soundtrack is very memorable. For better or for worse. How the fuck are you honestly gonna forget just you and me and everybody? Work it out, think about it. Work it out, talk about it. Work it out, make... Probably not for the right reasons, but I enjoyed the music even if I can understand why most people wouldn't. It does feel very 90s, which in that respect makes me feel nostalgic, but the game itself doesn't. The gameplay is a hard one to quantify. After playing it for 4 hours, I finished it. I'd read a review from someone else that they said they finished it in an hour, and I don't doubt that for a moment. But for the first hour at least, I was struggling with the controls. I turn right and he runs in an arc instead of a hard right or any kind of varying degree of that. The turning circle is like a bus, which is why it took me a while to get used to it. You'll see in the video capture that I still don't have it down pat, but I did get it later on. I believe a lot of people might struggle with it, which is why JonTron made a 3-minute video ultimately denouncing the game with no real understanding on it. It was just a whole lot of, look at this! Or what about this? And this? Ugh. Yeah, great. It feels like you spent as much time with the game as the video you made goes for. Additionally, I don't believe that this is really a racing game in the traditional sense. It has all the hallmarkings of a racing game with the position and a track, but if you were to compare this to any other kind of racer, even the most obscure that isn't Nintendo staples like Mario Kart, you'll find that the game's concept is a little bit more than just running around in a circle. You collect gems and hidden areas while trying to maintain a lead in the race. I feel Sonic's racing games are pretty individual from each other as the objectives are always different, well, for better or for worse, while Mario Kart seems to keep the core game mechanic and improve necessary technology along the way like graphics and sound. I feel the best you can get from a Mario track is a shortcut, and this game offers that too once you get to know the tracks, plus a little something extra like the aforementioned areas. I should clarify too, at no point am I taking away from Mario Kart, as the entire series is one of the best races in video game history, and is constantly, or at least consistently, amazing. What Nintendo did with Mario Kart works well, and better in the long run, but it's not as interesting. And to dismiss any of the Sonic racing games as either inferior or just general dog shit is also a fallacy. You might have a case with some of the other Sonic titles, but this is not one of them. If anything, I can kind of understand the disappointment in the way that the characters handle initially, as it would give you the impression it's missing polish being a Sonic game, but it's not so dreadful you can't get used to it. Because if the controls were truly fucked, I would be just as dismissive as JonTron. I will concede, however, the track design is a mixture of both pretty good and dog shit. The dog shit I want to concentrate on is if you don't have a handle on Sonic, the game is absolutely punishing. You have a lot of space around the track that allows you to move for better or for worse. I mean, this could be like the original Wipeout in which some of the tracks feel too narrow for the controls, and even then it could be argued that that was done intentionally because it only has 5 tracks to give longevity for the game. You know, Nintendo hard. And a Sega game. Sega can do it too, you know. Replayability is sadly lacking. Yes, you can unlock levels and characters, and there's a 2-player mode, which is all very nice on paper, but the time it takes to unlock these is as long as it takes to get used to the controls. Otherwise, the game is super short. And 2-player is only dependent on how much the other player is keen on the game, and even then it still feels pretty limiting. Would I recommend this game? Yeah, I would. The only caution I give is the length, and if you're okay with that, and that there might be a bit of a struggle with the controls, it's an otherwise enjoyable, if strangely structured game. One last thing I'd like to say before we go. I actually did the original recording, the voice portion of this video, in 35 minutes. Now, I think this original video is going to go for like 8.5 minutes, something like that, which means that I fucked up anywhere between 4 and 4.5 times. So every time I said one sentence, I said it 4 times before I finally got it right. Unbelievable. Anyway, here is just 2 examples of many where I fucked up. Hardcore. The sense of speed is excellent, the colours are fine, the detailing, fuck me. I feel the best you can do from a Mario track is a shortcut, and this game offers that too once you get to know the tracks a little, plus a little something. Oh no, fuck that. Fucked in the arsehole.